aggravated, stupid shit, man, I hate it. Bitches lying, bitches crying, suicidal, getting lined. Getting mind bouncing, freaks losing sleep, counting sheep. Absolute cash and loot, man in black, packing heat. Born and blazing, rotten, raising fingers up. Time to wave them, show these players playing that they better get their ass to praying. The fish ain't gonna wish they never push my button. The door is shutting and a knock will do you no good. You getting nothing while I rock here in Hollywood. I'll tell you something else, you can take it to the bank. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all people think. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Play now. Oh. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Feeling cold, going blind, free as hell, doing time. I'm insane, can't complain. Flush you turds down the drain, down the hatch, throwing crap, throwing matches on the gas. Check the map, check the wheels, check the ride, pay the bills. Burning miles, wanna smile if you're feeling versatile. Versus wild, flipping bitches, grinding trucks, skating ditches, hating hard but hardly hating. Knife and slice your shit like bacon. Sick and tired, you was fired. I'm the truth and you's the liar. The door is shutting and a knock will do you no good. You getting nothing while I rock here in Hollywood. I'll tell you something else, you can take it to the bank. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all people think. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra. Holding the gold, it's so gold, it's so golden, y'all. Golden Cobra.
Ja! Oh! Wacht even.
Danke!
Ja!
Anton, jongen, dat is zo'n mislukking. Jij kan ook niks goed doen. Doe niet neukstandjes. Ja, jij bent een dader. Nee, dat kan.
Fuck, die dingen komen eronder!
Ah, dit is pijn.
Ja! Kijk!
Ja.
Wacht. Film je nou nog?
Ja. Ga maar. Ja, ik film toch al? Ga nou! Fuck.
Kom even vingers onder.
Skatebakkies. Ga nou maar, mijn film is bijna op.
Fuck you, vriend.
Doe het gewoon, pussy. Hey, brother boy. Ah, speel mij niet, man. Kijk, ik film.
Als je met je bek op die rand komt, hè?
Hey, dat komt hij niet. Maar wat was er dan?
Ja,
ik film niet hoor, ik maak een leuke foto van je elleboog.
Moeilijk hè, Klippen! Van omhoog.
Ik het dak op ben. Eerst ga je mij zo het dak en dan ga je Jeffrey die weg.
Doen! Ik snap er helemaal niks van.